listening to Downworlder Dish, a Shadowhunter Chronicles podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 51, where we will be discussing Chapter 4 in City of Glass, In the Dark Forest. I'm Kristen.
Chapter 14. You said Chapter 4.
Fuck. I'm leaving it in. We're going to be discussing Chapter 14 of City of Glass, In the Dark Forest.
Woohoo.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Amanda.
Hey, you know what? I guess this is just our lives. This is how we podcast.
Yeah.
So many mistakes.
It's 10:50 Monday evening, and we're recording the intro for you tomorrow morning. Because we want it to be hot and fresh.
Yeah, this is how much we love you
Super fun
all.
times.
I got out of bed to do this. I'm that old.
I know. My husband's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, no, you're not. You have a whole routine.
Andy's like, yeah. He's like, so you'll be up around 12:30? And I was like, no, it's just an intro. And he's like, so you'll be up around 12:30?
That's what Jason said too. He was like,
I thought you said that you had to get out of battle, like you had to get ready for battle.
Yes.
That's what I was expecting, not bed.
She had to put on armor.
I do have my bougie sweatshirt on. I don't know if you guys can tell.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
cold in my house. It's like fake fur or something. I don't know how to describe it, but
Boots with the fur.
I got it at Costco for $12, and it's warm.
It's
Did
delicious.
you pair them with your apple bottom jeans?
With Old Navy yoga
okay.
pants.
Same difference, right? Same difference. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we do have a couple of things of note to discuss. The first being, we've been saying all of the Latin in the book wrong.
Are you
No,
surprised?
Not at all. So one of our listeners, Gabby, messaged us on Instagram and very kindly let us know that we were doing it wrong.
Yo, bitch.
But like in
You
the
fucked
nicest
up.
way, she's like, hey, you know that dead language? Well, I did learn a little bit of it and I know a little bit. And we were like, oh, yeah, we don't know anything.
That's nice.
So apparently the V's in Latin are pronounced like W, like a W. So I'm going to attempt.
That's so strange.
I'm going to attempt, and it's going to be real bad.
Let's hear it.
Okay, hold on. I got to read it again because. Okay. So she wrote it out phonetically because she's an angel and we're idiots. So it's
True dat.
awe atque wale.
Okay.
And
you read it and it sounds
we've
good.
been pronouncing it as ave atque vale, which sounds equally impressive to me. I don't know. I would have never known.
I agree. How would you know? Yes.
You know, dead language and all that.
You're amazing.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Seriously.
For telling us. That's fun.
All jokes aside, we really appreciate it because, like, yeah, we would have never fucking known. And it makes us sound smarter. But, like, the rambling beforehand makes us sound stupider because that's how we roll. We could have fooled you guys all. But you know what? We're all about being authentic.
We have a blue check mark next to our name. Okay, we're authentic.
No, we don't. I don't even think we could get a blue check mark. We're not that good. We're
I
not
don't
that
even know
popular.
how you would get that.
You have to apply for it. And you have to have like a certain number of followers and stuff for them to give it to you.
Well, it's in my head. It's on my personal page. No.
I was like, can we just like Photoshop one into our picture?
Into our logo. Yeah, right.
Oh
Ding.
my god.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So-
Robin. No,
ahead.
I was just going to say, and Robin has something else for us.
Oh, great. Hi, guys. So we have another little bit of Shadowhunter news, and it's a post that Cassie shared on Instagram. And I could tell you the date she shared it, but I took a screenshot, so I don't really know. Anyway, she's announcing this partnership with Luma Crate, who are doing archive boxes featuring the Infernal Devices, which arguably is the best trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've only read 3. Well, 2. TMI in total is
one
trilogy.
It's 6
1.
books, but we break it up.
Trilogy means 3, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you.
I mean, it arguably, but I haven't read Chain of Gold yet.
It is,
and I really like Mark Blackthorne, so maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It's
well
arguably because I'm
respected.
arguing with myself.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes. It's arguably because I'm arguing with myself on which one I like the best.
Yes.
I like them all. Okay, anyway, the book's going to contain, the box set is going to be all 3 editions that are have new cover work, and it's based off the 10th anniversary edition of Clockwork Angel. So I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like the City of Bones anniversary editions were. It's also going to contain 3 pieces of merchandise, one which will feature artwork from Cassandra Jean, and the box is priced at £70.
Okay.
Euros. I think it's pounds. I don't
Is it the L with the squiggly line? That's pounds.
Yeah, pounds. £70 plus shipping. Anyway, and they're going to be shipping out in May. So they're doing a pre-sale for customers that have purchased their previous box
gotcha.
and some special editions before, which is unfortunately not me, although I don't know if I'd have to wrangle up the money. So I don't know. Anyway, general sale is going to begin on Sunday, the 31st of January at 3 p.m. GMT. And then who knows how fast they're going to sell out. But that's when the pre-sale begins.
Probably like super
What?
fast.
So all the actual details are on Luma Crate's Instagram, or you can go to Cassandra Clare's Instagram, and she shared the post
Right on.
a while back. And
is a Luma Crate like just a website that does this for books?
It's like a monthly book subscription. I think it's monthly. It might be seasonally. I think it's monthly though. But it's like a book subscription box. So you get like a book or whatever, and they'll partner with like new releases or stuff like that and do like themed boxes.
Awesome. Very cool.
That's cool.
I could dig some merch.
Oh, and
I know. And then
yeah.
I'm just saying, I bet they're going to be gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. You know they're going to have, like, foil, and they're going to have painted edges, and it's going to look fucking awesome. And I'm going to be jealous.
Yeah. And it says it's going to be signed with Cassandra Clare's signature.
Nice.
So that's cool.
And then, the Chain of Iron hardcover, first edition hardcover is on pre-order. Comes out in March.
Hi, Magnus.
Magnus has joined the chat.
He just climbed right up there.
Did you see the picture of him in the tree?
Yes, we'll have to share that on our Instagram tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everybody can enjoy Magnus being a tree topper.
As soon as I got the lights off, he was like, game on. Let's go. And I'm like,
great.
Really?
At least he waited.
All the way to the top of the fucking... And we kept trying to get him down, and he just kept going back up there. I'm like, there's nothing I can do.
Did you call a firefighter?
I should have. Fuck. This is why you got the brains, man. I don't got them. I'm not that quick.
There's a cat stuck in my tree.
Oh, fuck.
Bitch, it's your Christmas
Such
tree.
a missed opportunity.
Holy shit, that would have been hilarious.
Oh my damn.
Man.
All right. Well, what do you guys say we cut the chit chat and kick things off with Robin's recap?
Previously on Downworlder Dish.
Once again, we begin our adventure with Clary waking up. It's been 3 days since V-Tang unleashed the Karens, or the demons. Clary's been plagued with... Okay, I just have to share with the class. I don't usually like to interrupt the recaps, but when I wrote this out, I said V-Tang unleashed the Kraken, and my intention was going to be like, unleash the Kraken. But the iPhone automatically corrected it to Karen, and I feel like it's a sign that it was meant to stay there. Yeah. So he unleashed the Karens, or demons. Anyway, Clary's been plagued with fitful dreams about the unfinished rune Ethereal showed her. Simon and Clary have a heart-to-heart about good versus evil. It's interrupted by Aline, who drops the bombshell we all needed. Sebastian isn't actually Sebastian. He's an imposter. And Clary needs to tell the Lightwoods and Luke on the ASAP. In true form, Clary bounds off like a shot to the Accords Hall and enters the meeting, breaking about 50 school rules. She finds Luke and tells him about faux Sebastian, and he tells her that she missed Max's funeral. They start to unfold V-Tang's plan a la Hodge, when they are interrupted by Amatus screams. It's V-Tang, and he's pulling his best Raphael impression. Hologram mode activated. He starts calling out rando Shadowhunters, shaming Clary, and of course monologuing. He lays his demands on the table, and Quizzy 2 times can't handle his life, and tries to stand up to V-Tang, but gets his just desserts when V-Tang reaches into his chest and murders him. The demands are simple. Complete allegiance, including a royalty rune or death by demon.
Dun, dun. So Nope. Jason Alec, still in their white mourning clothes, along with Clary and Simon, are chilling in the living room of the abandoned house the Lightwoods are currently squatting in after moving out of the Penhallows. Jace, harnessing the incredible power of his teenage angst, is, as per usual, acting like a total dick. An argument could be made that Jace is in the throes of the grieving process after losing Max, and I'll admit, the first time I read this scene, I was wholly sympathetic to Jace's attitude. But as an adult, I would point out that Alec, the eldest Lightwood, and the one who was in charge of his younger siblings at the time of the attack, and who entrusted Sebastian with Max and Isabelle's safety, is in fact not acting like a jaded little bitch.
Everyone grieves differently.
I'm just saying.
Totally get it.
Now, I know everyone handles grief and tragedy differently.
Thank you, Amanda.
However, it is important to note that your feelings do not give you a right to be a giant asshole to your loved ones, and to your loved ones who are in no way at fault for said tragedy.
Absolutely.
For those of you who can't see me, which is everybody, I just performed a backflip dismount off my soapbox and am prepared to finish out my segment sans for further psychoanalysis.
Stop giving yourself such big words.
I know how to spell them, but I can't say them.
Oh, jeez.
Clary, used to her brother lover's turbulent moods, is distracted, wondering where the inhabitants of the house the Lightwoods have commandeered went and why. As much as I like to take the higher ground here and say Clary's internal musings about the kind of people that lived in the house are super bratty and unfair, I can't because I totally thought the same thing. Listen, Linda, I never said I was a saint. I can be judgy from time to time. Trust me, I'm working on it. Just ask my therapist. But she's kind of like, who would just leave in the middle of, like, we're about to go to war? Like, how dare you? And I kind of, like, you're a Shadowhunter. It's kind of like your job. Yeah. Like I get it. It seems like an old person lived there because there's, like, old candy and stuff. And everybody knows that grandma has old candy in the dishes, right? Because no one eats it.
Where do we even buy those strawberry things?
The same place you buy the butter cookies that the tin is always filled with sewing supplies.
Yes. Yep.
They're actually really great to store, like, embroidery floss and stuff in because they're just kind of keeps everything together.
Awesome.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
I don't like shortbread or butter cookies or anything like that.
Oh my God, those are delicious. I love shortbread. It's my fave.
I can't.
I don't like cookies, really. I don't know. Give me some ice cream, bro. I'll destroy that.
I mean, you like cookies.
I don't know. I like Oreos, but unless I make them home, they're just like crunchy and I don't know. I just
Oh, like store-bought. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of store-bought cookies. I like homemade cookies.
Yeah. Wasn't there something you had for us? Bakewell tarts.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring them when we do our
That's great.
Christmas party.
That's great.
I mean, I
excited.
can't eat them, but yeah,
Why?
I'm allergic to cherries.
Oh my god, that's right.
That's right.
No one knows because
Maybe
no
Katie-
one eats fucking cherry
Yeah.
anything, so it's
love
never a thing.
Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi. Maybe you can just eat the outside. Like, because I think it's just in the middle,
I
right?
could
There's
totally-
a layer.
I could totally eat the outside.
There's
Yeah.
a cherry just in the middle. Is what it is. I think. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not gonna like the because I think it might be shortbread.
I think it
might
is.
be, yeah.
Yeah, but,
But-
maybe mixed in with the stuff.
I don't
you'll
know.
like
I
it.
wanted to try it, so
Do it. I like it.
then I bought some. Their gingerbread marzipan.
Have you ever had
I don't know if
marzipan?
I've ever had marzipan
Yeah.
before.
You like? Oh yeah, you are weird. You like it.
It's
I like
Omar's favorite candy. Like he doesn't actually like candy, but he loves marzipan.
Marzipan is not candy. It's
Is that what's
disgusting.
like Bernie gave me once, I think?
It's like a
probably don't
de la
remember.
rosa. It's like a dish.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was very good.
It's like nuts.
Yeah.
Cacahuates. Anyway,
I'm
that's
down.
a big sidebar. It's covered in fudge. They're from Germany, I think. Anyway, I bought them for our British themed Christmas party that I'm forcing you guys to have by buying little things
Love it.
to go with
Oh,
it.
I'm totally down to do a full on like UK Christmas.
I was gonna buy Christmas crackers too,
already bought 'em.
but they only have socks in them that I saw.
Oh, okay.
Like they're literally just socks inside. So I was like,
Must be gimmicky. Something.
Yeah,
like-
it's just Target,
I gotcha.
and I think the ones at Costco did too, just socks. But yeah,
okay, I got some already.
good.
I like it.
There's 4 of them. There are
Awesome.
4 of them. So
Oh,
Okay.
what a terrible time. Okay, really
Where am I?
quickly.
Oh yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So they're obviously the Lightwoods are staying at the Penhallows house.
they were.
Yeah.
they were.
So, do they not have a house there? Like you would think every family has a house there.
The Lightwoods. I think they had to give up their house when they got
Oh,
banished.
that makes sense. Okay, okay.
Because otherwise, wouldn't they be at their family houses?
Yeah,
Like one
exactly.
of their family houses? Because as far as we know, Robert's family and Maris's family are gone, right? Like,
Oh, right. We never talk about their grandparents or anything.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they're dead, you know, and that's not unusual for Shadowhunters, right? Like,
Sure.
It is weird that they didn't. Oh, I guess like you said, they would have to give it up.
that's what I'm thinking. I think they had to give up their property in Alicante and get banished to New York. I think that was part of like
That makes
the
sense.
deal punishment
Okay.
thing. But that also really fucking sucks for like Alec, who was a baby and like obviously he wasn't at fault. And so now he doesn't have an ancestral home in
Yeah.
Alicante. Like it's kind of fucked up.
He doesn't get a bougie house.
Right.
I mean, he could buy one.
Because
I mean, he could.
could
but
he though? Because they've already studied the map.
well, they found an empty house, and I'm sure
Okay.
after, you know, our demon whatever 3 days ago, I'm sure
Yeah.
there are a few open houses
That's fair. A lot of people actually left the clave. Yeah. So
or
there you
died.
go. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know. I
Which
would
now that makes me feel bad because like the people in this house might have died.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I was thinking like if you have like little children, peace, bitch. I got a 3-year-old or something.
Yep. What are you gonna do?
Maybe
lock them
leave
in a
my
bathroom?
husband there, and then like I would go,
Yep.
or vice versa. I guess if the woman was the more badass warrior, or leave your husband with the kids, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I just fucked up the dog.
Of course you did.
Something I did.
I'm just kidding.
It's
I
fine.
just tried to scroll. Okay.
It's all good. Okay, so ignoring Jace's broody tendencies, the group discusses the semantics of V-Tang's hologram murdering Quizzy 2 times.
Yep.
And we're all still humped. We're all still stumped.
Yeah. I want to know what.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's black magic, but what?
Yeah. It
Sorry.
has to be.
Right.
I'll stop interrupting.
No,
you.
you're
Continue your
totally
story.
fine. Simon, who in my humble opinion has the best case for the role of audience surrogate, asks the question we've all been wondering: has there ever been an inquisitor who didn't die a horrible death?
Seriously.
It kind of makes me wonder if there's not like some rumored curse surrounding the position of Inquisitor. Like, there'd have to be, right? At least among the kids or the teenagers. Like, someone's going to make that up and start spreading that rumor,
They
right?
will now. Like the next Inquisitor, they're going to be like, be careful.
Yeah.
Watch your step.
Exactly. Of course, no one bothers to answer Simon, and Alec mentions that his parents don't even know about the whole 24 hours to live thing, since cell reception is shitty in Alicante, and they haven't come back from the necropolis yet. Isabelle, who was too distraught to even attend Max's funeral, has locked herself in her room, and whoa. Like, that's some heavy shit.
Yeah.
That's something you're going to think about for the rest of your life.
100%.
Like,
You can't get that day back.
no, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
And like knowing that like someone is that distraught who can't go, and then just like kind of seeing it from the outside and being like, fuck, like I get that you're so upset, but like this is not going to be something that you're going to live easy with for the rest of your life.
It seems to me like everybody left and she was like, no, no, no. And then everyone left and she was just kind of sitting there in the quiet, probably regretting it. Honestly,
even if she didn't regret it now or a week or a month or whatever, eventually she's going to have to deal with that whole like missing that whole step in the grieving process. And it's not necessarily of like, oh, you should do this or you should do this. It's like, this was an opportunity that is probably going to be something that you're going to think about that you didn't take. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily one way or the other. I mean, everybody's different, but I feel like that's something that you would think about. And really, people are incredibly capable of beating themselves up.
For me, like, I don't know. Obviously, like you said, everybody processes grief differently.
Yeah.
But for me, when my grandma was sick, like she was on hospice, we knew she was, she had a stroke and just kind of went like downhill from there. And she looked like she was getting better and then didn't. But when she died, like the morning, basically she died, I was very like, I was able to drive to her calm and collected, spend time with my mom, be there for my mom, and kind of talk to the firefighters come because they have to like double check that she'd passed.
Right.
And then, the funeral home has to come and you're dealing with lots of people when you don't want to be dealing with those people.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was able to do that because it was like 5 years ago. Like I was able to handle it. I was old enough. And even after all of that, and I was fine. But without having the funeral as a place to really just be like, I'm allowed to let go and be sad and cry and deal with it. Not being able to have that closure, I don't know if I would still be carrying it around with me as much. Like, it's easier to, because my daughter was just like, she was like destroyed. Like she was really, because she was close with, whatever, my grandma and everybody. And so kind of talking to her and like, I can talk to her about Grammy, she calls her, without tearing up or like, every once in a while it gets you or whatever. But I don't know if I would have been able to do that without having that like,
the closure.
The closure, and everybody's there feeling the same pain as you're feeling. It's not like a, but my uncle didn't go.
Yeah.
I just like, it's that same thing where it's like, I don't know.
That when my grandpa was in the hospital and he was dying, like it happened, like he was fine. And then we get a call on Tuesday saying, he's in the hospital. Like he had a cold and then it became pneumonia. And then like, other things started happening, right? So my mom calls me on Tuesday and she's like, he's in the hospital, but it's serious. Like, you need to drive out to Bend. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Dang. And so, like, we get in the car and we go drive out and he died on Saturday.
I'm so sorry.
It's like, this is really...
Is the toilet going off again?
Okay. We're not laughing about my grandfather passing. We're laughing because there is a child's potty that keeps playing music. There is no child here. It's a ghost.
It's my mom.
Right.
That's totally something she would do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she
for
hears you guys
real.
talking about death and stuff.
She's like, y'all need to lighten up a little bit.
Anyway, that's crazy. That happened so quickly.
Yeah, and it was like his entire hospital room was just like filled with all of us. And there were a couple of family members that ended up not coming. And I know that was like a really like, I don't know. Either they didn't think it was really happening because it was so sudden, and it was kind of like, oh, then now all of his organs are failing. And it was just like something that like just happened like rapidly, and you were like, what is going on? It's just, you don't hear about a normally healthy 68-year-old man, you know, just getting a cold and then just dying. Like, that's not super normal. And so
That's
Yep.
yeah. Obviously, that's what happened. That's what's happening with people who are getting COVID.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
sepsis, right? Like
Yep.
organ failure that causes sepsis or whatever. It's crazy. It doesn't make it any.
I'm going to go take that out because it does keep going off really quick since you time outed.
Yeah.
But for me, like, having those 5 days, 4 or 5 days where we were just kind of all day, you know, we were, you know, driving to my grandma's house and spending the night like in sleeping bags on the floor because there were so many of us. And then we'd get up and go to the hospital, and, you know, having that time to see him and talk to him when he was lucid, which wasn't all the time, but sometimes, you know, and just having that like kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like camaraderie, I guess. That's it was more impactful for me than the funeral was.
Yeah.
And the funeral was a big deal. Like, it was fucking huge. He knew so many people.
That's so cool.
But like, the deaf community really comes out
Okay.
when there's something to come out for. So it was like we had to rent out an entire church. Like, it was massive.
That's great.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we did the same thing with my mom because she was in a coma. So yeah, we all just stayed in our little tiny room, and it was similar to that. It was nice. Okay, not really, but it was nice to have the family time and tell stories. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly, and tell stories, and, you know, kind of go through the process with other people who are going through the process.
Yeah, and
I would not have wanted to been in my room alone.
exactly. That's what I was
that.
going to say. To tie back to this, it's like they really don't spend any time focusing other than the funeral. Robert and Maris really just go back to the clave and start like basically working again. I guess they have, you know, this huge deadline.
Right. I guess there's an impending war, so it's like you don't really
they
get
have
time.
to push forward, but
I think they also process death
That's
probably
fair.
differently.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because the cultural aspect of like people just you grow up knowing that people you love could die.
You don't
like
think your
anywhere.
9-year-old that's not even in the world yet,
Exactly.
though. You know, that had to have just been that. I mean, as much as nobody has favorite children or anything like that, like that had to have been harder than losing one of their kids that they send off to battle sometimes.
Exactly.
Right, because you've prepared
Yeah, you've mentally prepared.
as much as you can prepare.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Let's be fair.
You know that you understand the risks, and you know that they're going into danger. Whereas a 9-year-old, you don't expect that. You're not ready for it yet.
Like, he didn't even have his first marks.
No.
Oh yeah, because that doesn't happen until they're like teenager, right?
12, I think, yeah.
They're teenager.
Okay. So, where am I? Okay. So, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely of the mind that when faced with horrible realities, humor, even dark humor, especially dark humor,
Yes.
can help with the processing of feelings and all that junk. So, for me, the next passage sounds exactly like something I would say. Quote, have you tried talking to her? Have you ever tried talking to her? Quote, have you tried talking to her? This is Simon asking about Isabelle. No, Jace said. We've been punching her repeatedly in the face instead. Why? Do you think that won't work?
There he is.
That's our boy.
Oh. But it is. It's like, you know,
Yep.
sometimes you just gotta be inappropriately funny.
That's my life.
Me too.
Yep.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right.
So it's like when I thought Bryn was missing.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
And you guys are like, it's fine.
We had to.
She's cool. Cool.
She's probably building a beer pyramid. It's fine.
Yeah. Look, Dad, it's as tall as me now.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Because they drink so much. Get it? Okay. Sorry.
That's probably my favorite bit that you do.
I'm a stand-up comedian.
When you tell a joke and then you're like, get it? It fucking kills me every time. Because you have the way you smile is just, it's so like on. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. She has this look at her face when she's being like really sarcastic.
Poker face and then this.
It's her customer service face. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, those are my spirit fingers, but in my face.
Have you tried turning her off and on again?
Oh.
Okay. So Alec thinks he might gain some headway with Isabelle if she knew that Sebastian... Alec thinks they might gain some headway with Isabelle if she knew the Sebastian that killed Max was not the real Sebastian Verlac and fooled everyone, even the Penhallows, without anyone being suspicious. Of course, Jace is quick to mention that he was super suspicious of Sebastian. But Alec lets the real reason for Jace's dislike of the fake Sebastian, you know, the worst kept secret in the history of secrets, cough, Clary, cough. Wait, I was...
So good at this.
I am so stupid.
Clary.
Thanks, Robin. I don't think I could have done that.
I got your back, girl.
Just hang in the air a bit before deciding none of it matters because they're all going to die in 24 hours anyways. Clary, still in denial about the patriarch of the Morgenstern family, wonders aloud if Vitang would really kill all the Shadowhunters. I mean, it's not like he's crazy or anything. This bitch. She needs to, like, catch up with reality.
Yeah. Did she not just watch him tear someone's heart out of their body while they were still alive?
To be fair, he just twisted it in there. It didn't come out.
Okay, right.
He just, like, went in and, like, grabbed it and then, like...
He just disconnected the valves.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
He was like lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Oh, shit.
Okay, got it. No one tried to turn him back on, though, huh? Okay.
Nope.
They weren't into it.
So Jace's self-loathing has reached maximum capacity in contrast to Clary's unrelenting optimism when he says, quote, "He didn't care enough about his children not to destroy them," Jace said, meeting her eyes across the room, their gazes held. "What makes you think he'd care about his people?" Yowza.
Well, you're not technically a person, you see, Jace. You're a demon. So he does not care about you.
Fuck. Alec.
I'm kidding.
Alec, sensing that they were getting into dangerous territory, steers the subject to Magnus and the fact that he can't seem to track Sebastian since everything they have to use to track him belongs to the real Sebastian Verlac, who is very probably super duper dead.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
We don't even really get to feel that for him.
Well, and it seems like, okay, I'm sorry that we keep tangenting and I'm really sorry, but it seems like part of when Amatis was telling this backstory about Celine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it was Amatis. Anyway, it was a big deal that she wasn't able to be, like, have a Shadowhunter burial because she had committed suicide.
Right.
So it's really sad for this other Sebastian that he's not going to get his, like, last rites and stuff.
Right.
The words
Yeah.
and everything. He's just probably in a ditch somewhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my piece.
Unless he just paid him. Hey, I'll give you $20 if I can take your spot on the plane.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't want to go back there anyway.
So too bad they don't have anything to track fake Sebastian with, since it could lead them straight to Valentine. Shucks, guys. There's a very short exchange between Jace and Alec about Hodge's claim that Lake Lynn is the mortal mirror. Jace calls it a crackpot theory, but I can't understand what would make him think it was bullshit. Like, everything aligns. The Fae call it the mirror of the dreams. The lake water has magical properties. In all the depictions of Raziel offering the mortal instruments to Jonathan Shadowhunter, he's rising from Lake Lynn with the other 2 instruments in his hands, and all indications suggest that the... Exactly.
Can I see?
Don't open it.
I won't.
And all indication suggests that angels are humanoid and only have 2 hands, so it would make sense that the mirror wasn't something that could be held, since Raziel didn't show up with a reusable Trader Joe's bag in tow.
Okay, it just seems to me like as soon as they heard about Lake Lynn, they would have been like, oh.
Right!
Yeah, dude, yeah!
That makes total sense. All the
Crazy.
pieces fit.
His eyes are so creepy. I feel like dark eyes would be less creepy than light eyes, even though I know that it's supposed to be opposite.
I don't know. I just didn't expect him to have that haircut.
Or those abs, bro.
Tommy is an angel. That's fair.
Yes. Anyway, I feel like they all would have just been like, oh, Epiphany. We get it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jace is funny.
But don't worry, folks. We don't have to dwell on the validity of Hodge's claim because the subject changes come so fast in this conversation, it's likely to give you whiplash. Speaking of which, Simon wants to know why fake Sebastian stuck around after he killed Max, since he was definitely going to get caught.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. I totally agree.
Agreed.
And it doesn't make any sense.
Something to do with Clary, because he followed her.
I think
Right.
it's just has that, like, again, where he's kind of slipping up a little bit. I wonder if it's like he's like an evil overlord in training and he just wants to spread his like monologue wings and stuff and see what he can get away with.
Okay.
He wants to go rogue and have his own plan.
Yeah. He's tired of being a henchman.
Yeah.
He has ambition.
It's actually a good quality.
So Clary thinks she's the reason fake Sebastian stuck around, and not because he wanted a second hot date. Not that there was a first hot date. It wasn't hot or a date.
But it happened.
But it happened.
We were on a break.
Jay suggests that fake Sebastian might have wanted Clary so he could bring her to Valentine's super secret evil overlord clubhouse.
Yep.
Clary rejects this idea because Daddy has only ever had eyes for Jace, conveniently forgetting the fact that she packs some massive angel power, and a point that Jace is quick to make. But Jace can't stop at that. He has to take it a step too far and suggest Clary be careful, a notion we all know she is actively allergic to. Before Clace can launch into another pissing match, Simon announces that he's going to go try to talk to Isabelle. And, okay, I love Alec. And even when he fumbles the ball, he's so adorable. And so when Simon stands up and says that he's going to try and talk to Isabelle, Alec's all incredulous and he's like, you? And then he immediately realizes how rude that sounded and then tries to backpedal. It is fucking glorious.
Now that there's not like Aline or other Shadowhunters there to have to like rooster strut with.
Right.
Yeah, you can see what kind of person he actually
Yeah.
is. Although putting on a fake facade of being a dick is still not great.
No, and honestly, I don't think that Alec was being as much of a dick to Simon because he was a Downworlder as much as he was trying to show everyone in the room that he was the adult.
He's
Exactly.
in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more like, but I'm the adult because I'm the only one that can go to the guard. Well, guess what? No one can go to the guard because it's fucking dust.
Boom.
All right. Where am I?
Simon having.
Yeah. Okay. So Simon, having been besties with a girl for the majority of his life, is like, chill, bro. I got this.
Yeah, and he's a sissy.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting about her. Well, he used to have 2 sisters, but then the second edition came out.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about all that. Okay.
Okay, so we get a moment here where Clary is stewing on the fact that Simon is a completely different person in so many ways. He's not scared or intimidated by the Shadowhunters, and he's all grown up, with the scars from her father's blood ritual to prove it. Now, okay, last episode we talked it might have been a few episodes. I don't know. We talked about vampire healing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So his ribs healed, his hand healed when it was burned by the sun or whatever, but he still has the scars from the mortal sword. Do you think it's because it was made with the mortal sword?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I figured there had to have been some sort of...
Like a loophole?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In what I think is a bit of jealousy, Clary reminds Simon that they promised Luke and Amethyst that they would be back by sundown. But Jace jumps in and offers to walk Clary home and suggests that Simon can make his own way in the dark.
He's a vampire, lady. Come on.
Right. Alec, because he's just the sweetest little soft boy ever, is trying to make up for his previous blunder and goes off on a tangent about how Simon is strong and capable and a vampire and he don't need no Shadowhunter to oh, you were joking, right? Anyways.
Dude, as I was reading this, I was like, that is Robin. That's why I made that joke about you being Alec recently. It was just so funny to me.
That's why Alec is Kristen's favorite character because
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
we're like twins.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That makes total sense.
I find him the absolute most endearing character.
Yeah.
It's me. So here we are.
Luke is still my favorite, so you can just fuck right off, okay? Love you. Okay, so Clace, yep, I'm saying it. Clace make their way to Amethyst's house. Clary is trying to enjoy her time with Jace because for some reason she's thinking it could somehow be their last time together. I don't know if maybe she's worried that they're going to go into battle. Die.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's basically just staring at him the entire time, admiring his looks and taking him all in. You know, a look with your eyes, not touch with your hands sort of thing. So although she's although her reasoning is likely different than other Shadowhunters, I'm sure most of them aren't in love with their brother. But I mean, this is likely how all Shadowhunters feel all the time. Mm-hmm. I guess that's just life, though. Like anyone could just leave and working this all out as I'm saying it. Yeah, everyone could leave and just not that be their last. That was sad. Moving on. Anyway, she breaks the awkwardness inside my mind by saying she's surprised Valentine went after Quizzy McGuire and not Daddy Luke. And Jace says that he believes that V-Tang respects Luke more than Quizzy, even if he's a Downworlder. He thinks it's because Luke wants to change the Clave in a very different way than Valentine does, but still. And Quizzy represents the current old school with a K, Clave. Clary is
Stop it. You should be jailed for that. That was a crime against the English language.
I think it would be better if you did SKEWL.
Oh,
No.
yeah, you're right. I fucked up big time. All right, well, Clary is like, yeah. And they were friends once, right? Like, she's got to chime in, you know? So Jace quotes something kind of interesting. He says, marks of that which once hath been. Which makes me wonder if Luke's marks did disappear when he changed. I don't know.
So persons/wolves can be scarred. We know that, right? I don't think that they went away. I think that they like faded and became scars. Like, I don't,
Okay.
how can they just go away?
Okay, so in my brain, when ever a reference has been made to like rune scars, to me, I don't think it's the scar isn't the shape of what the rune was. It seems like almost it's like a nick. Like a little white.
Oh.
The way that they describe it. Like these small white. Or unless the runes are like micro tiny.
That makes sense because of Jocelyn.
But they're not ever, like in any picture we've ever seen of a rune, they're like, what,
Massive.
4 inches
Yeah.
maybe?
Right.
About, like big runes. But in the thing, it always says these small, tiny white scars. So it's almost like what scars is where the steely first, like, like goes in. But I don't, stele, however we're saying it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Anyway, that's my head canon.
I like that.
I hate saying that word, but I don't know how else to describe
I like it.
Yeah.
So maybe he still has those little tiny white scars, and maybe his permanent runes have faded into white scars. But I still think it's cool to imagine Luke with runes. So
Yeah, I like it.
Me
I
too.
like it.
I'm into it.
It's probably not, but I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, he points out that it's like a lot easier to hate someone that you've cared about before. And he thinks that Valentine has a plan for Luke later down the road, you know, after he's won. And Clary's like, no, he's not going to win. He can't beat us and the Downworlders. And Jace is like, listen, Luke is an idealist. Who knows if the Downworlders will even be allowed to fight with us? I'm certainly not an idealist. I'm a real bummer. A negative Nancy, if you will. Okay, he didn't say that part. Anyway, Clary reminds him that he's not like Luke in the sense... although he's not like Luke in that sense, he is also not like that giant douche canoe Valentine. Before Jace can jump on to Self-Loathing Express. Jeez Louise, get that out. Before Jace can jump onto the Self-Loathing Express, he notices blood on Clary's sleeve. And he checks her entire body from head to toe to make sure the blood isn't hers.
Like what you do with your kid? 100%.
Okay, I don't think he actually checked her from head to toe, but it would have been funny. He's like, oh, blood on your sleeve? Better check your boobies. Shit. Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, like you remember when your kids are little and they're crying, like just like you were in the other room. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're fucking crying and you run in and they're just like face red, like they can't barely breathe. They're like, cry. And they're like crying or whatever. And you're looking around trying to figure out why they're crying, but like you can't figure it out. So you're just like checking them. You're like, what is happening? Are you
really just like
somewhere?
Dropped their waffle or something?
Right, exactly. It's something really stupid. You're like looking for lumps in their head or whatever. It's, yeah.
Yep, totally. That's what he's doing right now. Absolutely. Yeah. So Clary quickly realizes it must be Sebastian's blood, you know, from when she very awkwardly touched the dude that was totally giving her and everyone else creep vibes. She's like, I thought I told that bitch Amethyst to do my laundry. What a lazy bitch.
Oh my God.
She's basically like, I thought Amethyst watched this. I guess not. But like, seriously? You can't do your own laundry? What were you doing? No one was talking to you.
They don't have electricity. That means she would have to wash that by hand.
So would Amethyst.
No, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Clary's. That was her reason.
No, fuck Clary. She needs to learn a new skill.
Seriously. Seems like this could come in handy later in life.
For real.
Yeah. So anyway, Jace studies the blood and then refuses to tell Clary why. And she's like, okay, fine. Bye. So I just want to read this little snippet from the book because it was a little weird to me. So it says, there was no way she could have known that the moment she turned her back, the smile vanished from Jace's face, or that he stood for a long time in the darkness once the door was closed behind her, looking after her and twisting a small piece of thread over and over between his fingers. So we move over to Simon trying to talk to Isabelle, and she's not about it. She's yelling at him to go away. And after exhausting all of her names to yell at and come to rescue her from Simon trying to talk to her, she finally believes him that he is alone. So she opens the door and Simon sees the fucking disaster she's surrounded herself with. And holy shit, no. I can't even read it without cleaning something. I'm cleaning right now. I gotta just make it stop. Clothes are everywhere. As Simon tries to look away from the bra that he spotted and Izzy just turns on the charm and she's like, oh, blushing vampire? And Simon got a good look at the runes all over her body and thought about how Clary would look like that someday. It's just strange. Like this girl is basically, she's in like a slip, I think, like a little nightie basically almost. And she's right in front of you. Her bra is over there, so she's probably not wearing one. And you're thinking about Clary again.
I don't think he's thinking about Clary in a sexual way. I think he's thinking about it in the same way that Clary was just staring at him, thinking about how much he's changed.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's seeing it, and because I mean, I'm sure he's never seen Isabelle in such dress.
Yes.
Right? And so he's probably like, holy shit, like they are literally covered in these things. And kind of like one of those things that makes you step away and like realize that things have changed a little bit faster than like you've really caught up with.
Yeah, it's still just been a few weeks, really. Yeah. Right? I guess probably a couple months at this point, but
it's been like a month and it's like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, a lot's happened, man.
Well, I guess that kind of goes back to what Robin was saying, because she's obviously covered in scars that used to be runes, so that totally makes sense. And that makes sense how they have space on their body to do more runes again, or the ones that fade, temporary ones. So anyway, Simon just jumps right in, telling her what had happened to Max was not her fault. And she ignores him, explaining that the object in her hand... she explains the object in her hand that she had absent-mindedly been playing with. It was a wooden toy of Jace's that he had brought with him when he moved from Idris. Sounds like it was like the only thing other than sounds like probably clothes, that he brought with him. And Jace never really talked about it much, but she believed that he made it himself, which is so cute. And I bet he had to learn like wood whittling somehow too. Like he just kept his schedule busy. Valentine did.
Well, he didn't have any siblings or friends to play with.
Or TV either. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess maybe he did that for fun. So Jace took it everywhere with him. And one day he gave it to Max. It was like just in Max's hand one day. So it's just interesting. They don't really talk about the exchange or whatever, but he obviously maybe that's why he's so much more sad, because he really cared for Max.
Well, what I would think with this toy basically is I bet Valentine wouldn't let him be occupied with frivolous things like toys. So I bet he'd always he probably just made it in secret and like kept it under the floorboard or something.
That's a really good point.
Because I doubt V-Tang would be cool with him like doing something like as silly as playing or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's like a little Shadowhunter, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like a toy soldier Shadowhunter kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was in Max's hand when they found him. And she wonders if he had grabbed it when Sebastian attacked, like sort of almost as like a protection. I don't know, just something.
I think more than the shock of Max being dead and the funeral and everything, this part and this like conversation, that section, and that fucking killed me.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Because to me, it almost seems like Jace gave it to Max when he decided he wasn't a little kid anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? As a like, I don't need this anymore, but you need this because you're a little kid. And that just, it just guts me.
To me, I always seem it's like something where like maybe he was like leaving to go like when Max went to maybe Alicante with his parents and didn't want to go, and just like, we'll always be with you here, take this.
Yeah. Like maybe it's something Max always asked him about, like, what is that?
Yeah.
Can I play with it? And Jace was like, no. And then one day he broke down and gave it to him as something like that. Yeah, it's very sad. So she goes on to tell Simon that she should have been there for Max and not just this little toy. Simon tries to console her by reminding her that she was unconscious. She busts out Angry Izzy and is like, bitch, he tried to warn us that he saw someone climbing the wards. We didn't believe him. We sent him back to bed. Yep, that's what we're all saying. Sorry, girl. She believes that Sebastian was the one that was climbing the towers, and that's why he killed Max, to keep his secret.
Like he probably would have left him alone, but he said something.
Yep. But how does he know that he said something?
Because he came down and told the room.
Oh,
yeah, he was in the room.
That's right. So how the wards must have been pretty close if Sebastian was there to the house. I mean,
assuming Sebastian's the one that took it down. If Isabelle's right.
Okay. So maybe
like
he must have
excused himself to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, gotta poop. I'll be gone a while. Don't look for me.
He did some roof jumping.
Yep. So he must have been the one that drew on the rune. Then.
Yeah.
Because that's what Luke said. There was a rune drawn in blood. So
yeah,
he had demon blood.
Yeah,
and
it was Sebastian.
Yeah, exactly. So Simon starts to tell Isabelle about Sebastian not really being related to the Penhallows, and she says she already knew. Like, damn, no good cheese made a share. All right, fine, you already knew. So she admitted that she had been eavesdropping on the group until Simon said he would come to try to talk to her. So she ran away. She's like, I'm still sad, but I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, she probably wants people to come try to make her feel better.
Of course.
It's been
Everybody does.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it would be weird to just come out of your room and like just be done. You've got to have someone convince you, I think, at that point. So she feels like her only recourse is to kill Simon. No, what? Wait, maybe that was a slip, a Freudian slip. She wants to kill Sebastian. Okay. And Simon is like, I don't know how that will help. And she resorts back to Angry Izzy, and she's like, how the fuck would you know? Your dad is dead. Did you kill the motherfucker that did it? And Simon's like, no, he had a heart attack, so that's impossible. That's my Luke Skywalker voice when he found out that what's his name is his father. Okay. Anyway, it's interesting to find out how Simon's dad died, because I don't think that we ever really talked about that before. Yeah. So anyway, it seems weird because Simon was pretty young when his dad died, right? He was like 12 or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
It just seems very young for his dad to have had a heart attack. So can I get a like, no thank you?
Mm-hmm.
My husband had a heart attack at
know.
37.
And I imagine that's probably how old his dad was about. Yeah. It's crazy. No, thank you. Good for him for changing things. Okay, so Isabelle realizes what would make her feel better, and it's a little sexy time with Simon. So she starts putting on her best moves.
It's a good time. So, you guys, Clary's in bed again.
Dude.
Fuck.
But this time she didn't wake up.
This is the city of beds.
She didn't wake up this time because she's having like a little baby case of insomnia. And she's worried about Jace, Isabelle, Simon, you know, the whole crew.
Wait, you mean that being notified that you have 24 hours to live might make it hard to sleep?
It's weird. So the first thing on her to-do list is to tackle her nerves about Simon because he hasn't come back yet. So she goes to tell Daddy Luke, who puts on a coat and heads over to the Lightwoods' new digs to check on him. # best faux dad ever.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine, like, you know when you forget something in your car and you're like, I don't want to give it, but you just got to, like, shrug it on and go do it. Mm-hmm. This guy walked, like, who knows how far away to check on Simey pants. Anyway, Luke comes back, like, a short while later, and he's, like, chuckling, like, ha, 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 which almost like, I don't know, a Hank Hill. No, his Minnesota voice. I don't know. Simon's fine. Clary, you should get some sleep. That's what he says. Haha. Anyway, him and Amethyst then head out to a meeting at the Accords Hall, which makes Clary wonder if Quizzy 2 Times blood has been cleaned up yet. Like,
oh yeah, who would do that? Once again, do we need a warlock to come clean this up, or is there like a cleaning person, like a Shadowhunter that got in trouble, so they're on cleaning duty?
Okay.
Or an excuse for a Shadowhunter to have a higher paying job, and so
yeah, maybe.
they're like the best paid janitors ever.
Yeah. Totally.
So, never one to follow direction. Clary still can't sleep. She did not go to bed. Anyway.
Of course not.
She keeps replaying the scene in her head of Vitang, like, ripping. I said ripping out, but we discussed it's not. Ripping sideways Grampy Quizzy's heart. And then the way, like, he told her to keep her mouth shut about Ethereal if she knew what was good for her brother lover. Which then makes her think of the vision he showed them, like, Ethereal. And then also wonder what the fuck is taking Magna so long with reviving her Mama Jamma. However, I don't really think it's been that long. It's been like, what, 3 days? Like, what if he had to go track down some, like...
strange ingredients?
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
Ayanu. How are you going to find Ayanu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
in this season? Come on.
He's...
What's that one hand that's, like, you have to take it from, like, a murderer or something? What?
A hand of glory?
Yes. Thank you.
Wait, what?
So, like, an ingredient for a spell could be something called a hand of glory. And a hand of glory is the hand of a murderer.
But that's the
But
hand that
it's
killed.
the hand that they actually murdered with.
Mm-hmm.
How is that glory? Because he's dead and you have his hand? Got it. So you, like, boil it down like Hocus Pocus? You have this big cauldron?
And it just dissolves.
Okay.
Anyway, Clary is pulled from her torments by a rustling at the window and then a shock of angel light pouring in.
Love it.
Which light? Anyway, she reaches for a seraph blade that she has on her nightstand when a hand lays down on hers. Like, you must be slow, bitch.
She is.
Like, if this person got all the way over there to touch your hand and you're still trying to, like, fumble with your... Is it in a tube? Is it out?
It's like when you try to hit snooze and you're tired, you're just like, your eyes closed.
Watch it be in a tube and she knocks it off the nightstand and then it rolls under the bed.
Dude, of course it would, because she loses it every day.
Stella.
Okay, that's true. Fair.
They haven't trusted her with a
Okay, she doesn't have one yet.
Right.
Okay, so, you guys, I want to preface my life here. I remember the scene very fondly as a teenager. Okay?
I know.
And as an adult, I'm left with the feelings of wanting to shake Clary. Like, grab her and, like, physically shake her. Jace is amazing, but, like, that, like, oh my god. So, we're gonna, like, dig right into it. Okay. So, of course, it's her brother lover. It's touching
Always
her.
is.
And she's like, dude, what's wrong? Then she starts to feel self-conscious that she's in her pajamas. Although not too long ago, you know... when they were like tumbling.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. Like, you're in PJs, move on with your life. Okay.
They're not cute or sexy PJs. That's
Yeah.
what she's embarrassed about.
Okay.
I think she just feels naked for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, she probably doesn't have much to wear over there, so she might be pretty...
I think she said it was like a tank top and pajama bottoms. Like, okay, cool.
where
I
did she
answered
get
the
them?
door for Amazon like that, okay?
Right, exactly.
Move on.
No bra.
Yeah. And ours are much bigger than hers.
Right?
Okay, I wear a bra. That's
I
Kristen.
know, me too.
doesn't wear a bra.
Anyway. So, Jace gathers up all of his inner bro-J strength and stands silently, creepily at the foot of Clary's bed, still in his white morning clothes, which I feel like he's wearing. Like, the only image I have in my mind of morning clothes is like a wife beater with like, oh my god, with like a jacket over it. And I like,
Okay, you know what I envision? Okay. So you know the Backstreet Boys Millennium album?
Yes, those
Oh.
Yeah, the pants with the big it's not a jacket.
pants. It's like a blazer, like a coat is what I'm imagining.
It's almost like a Dickies shirt, but like all white and like open with the like a t-shirt underneath or whatever. But imagine the fabric as linen with runes on it. Like, that's in my head. That's what I
like linen, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like
Hell,
here.
you guys, what is wrong with you guys? I'm imagining Chubbs from Happy Gilmore when they go to the happy part, and Chubbs is in his white suit. Like, they're in all white suit, white tie, everything's white. They're probably dressed nicely for a funeral. These are not wearing 2/4 of a jacket.
Well, here's the thing: the jackets have runes on them, right? They're red runes.
Yeah.
So to me, it almost looks like
Don't like that.
Yeah, they are, because they're morning runes or whatever. So it reminds me of like something that's totally like 90s that has like a tiger on the back.
Yes.
It's an Ed Hardy original.
Yes.
Exactly. Anyway,
Sounds like it was designed by Magnus.
okay, that's obviously not what he's wearing, but that's what my mind is telling me. It's not great.
He's just gonna start breaking into.
Awesome.
To be fair, I could probably totally Google it, but that would just spoil the phone. Fun.
Yes,
Okay.
it
Anyway,
would.
being the good sister that she is,
Yep.
Clary asks if he's doing all right, because the dude looks destroyed, and I just want to go my best, like Anton was that. Well, obviously. Anyway, Jace says that he doesn't know how he's doing. He's been wandering around Alicante because he too cannot sleep, and he wasn't going to come see her, but his feet moved without his brain really thinking about it. Like when you can't remember the entire drive home, but somehow you didn't die.
Seriously, dude, I've totally been there.
Yeah. Okay.
Seriously, that's great.
Yeah. So Clary's like, OMG, you couldn't sleep? What's wrong? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Did something happen? Like, did you find out that your dad performed blood experiments on you when you were in the womb to turn you into a soulless demon? Or did maybe your adopted little brother die a horrible death by being beaten by a hammer from some dude that you thought was someone's cousin, but turns out is a henchman for the most evil dude our people have ever come across that just happens to be yours and your would-be soulmate and lover if it wasn't for the whole taboo father thing? Like, is it that?
Yes.
Anywho, Jace says that he just had to see her, so he came even though he knows he shouldn't. And Clary tells him to take a seat because he's freaking her out. Did something bad happen? And can we just reference my rant from above?
Yeah.
Right? Dude's not all right.
Yeah. Like,
Stop it.
Stop.
It's not about your feelings right now.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, this dude is literally like shattered.
That's great.
Can
I thought you were Googling the real thing.
So did I.
I tried, but there wasn't any good.
Okay.
Sorry. This dude, Jace, is literally shattered. Can you just let him have a moment? Mm-hmm. Like, he puts on such a good warrior face. His family is also, like, suffering this huge life-shattering death. He can't expect Alec or Izzy, his parabro tie and siblings and only friends, to support, heal, and love him when they're going through the same thing. Girl, get your head on. Simon would know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He would have the intuition. He would know for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quit somehow weirdly making it about, like, you're scaring me.
Oh, you mean you mean to tell me that Clarissa Fairchild makes everything about herself?
It's weird.
I can't even believe it.
I can't. Yeah. Very out of character, this whole chapter.
What an alternate universe are you living in?
The J.J. Abrams one. Okay. Anyway, Jay starts by telling her that what he is... Okay. Sorry. Jace starts by telling her that what he has been mulling around in his head is something that he always known because he hasn't hid it very well. And she tries to tell him, don't speak. I know just what you're thinking, and I don't need no reason. Don't tell me because it hurts.
Dude, still one of the best albums ever.
That was my first.
Me
that
too.
I bought with my own money.
So, Jace lays all his cards down on the table instead. Okay, you ready?
I am so ready. I'm so glad you have to do this and not me.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's drawn to Clary. Okay. Sorry. You clicked and it made me confused.
Sorry.
Okay. Starting again. He's drawn to Clary like some really powerful magnet. It started from the first time they saw each other at Pandemonium. He begged Hodge to be the one that got to go get her. Doesn't seem like it would have been that hard. Like there's 2 other people to choose from, but okay. Yes. And even when he saw her the second time at the coffee shop with Simon, he had a bad case of the peanut butter and jellies. He knew then and now that he is the only one that's supposed to be with Clary. Not Simon, not anyone else. She's the first and only girl that the more time he spends with her, the more he wants to. Then, when she came to Renwick's to save them, he knew Cupid shot his heart for like a few moments. Then Daddy Tang showed up and ruined their lives. This bond wasn't true love. It was a sibling bond. He knew that God must have been punishing him because he didn't deserve to have someone in his life, but he couldn't figure out what he had done to be punished. So Clary cuts him off and interjects. Tells him that she feels the same way, so she must be being punished too. But they can't give in to their temptations. That it's their only chance to be together at all. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to be in the same room, jealous of the other one's spouse. You know, Game of Thrones shit. Anyway, Jace is triggered. Like, okay, sounds good for you, but like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I will literally die inside watching you move on with your life without me by your side. Mm. And Clary's like, oh, my Jace-tifer, you won't care by then. Clary stops to try to imagine not caring either, and it seems impossible. Her, like, revved up artist brain can only imagine blackness when she tries to think of him married and in love with someone else. And Clary begs him to please just pretend. And then Jace answers with what I consider to be the top 10 quotable quotes from my book boyfriends. And he says, there is no pretending, Jace said with absolute clarity. I love you, and I will love you until I die. And if there's a life after that, I will love you then. Except it says I'll love you then. My bad. So, you guys, Jace did the toothpaste thing again.
Yep.
And Clary doesn't know how to respond, so she, like, stares at him. So he continues.
Shake her.
Yeah. And I know you think I just want to be with you to show myself what a monster I am, he said. And maybe I am a monster. I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is that even if there's demon blood inside me, there's human blood inside me as well. And I couldn't love you like I do if it wasn't at least a little bit human. Because demons want, but they don't love. And then he cuts himself off, strides across the room, and looks out through the window like he's freaking... What's his name? Mufasa. Looking out over the kingdom.
Shit.
Anyway, Clary calls out to him and, like, Jace, come back. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. And he doesn't respond, so she gets up and stands next to him, resting her hand on his arm, which I think is creepy.
Uh-huh.
Like, when I read it first, I thought she was resting her head on his arm.
Uh-huh.
But it definitely says hand. I don't know.
It's weird, like they're brother and sister or something. Yeah. It would make more sense if her hand was on his shoulder, although he's very tall.
Right.
So,
yeah. She's holding his elbow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Touch and drag.
Touch and drag. I don't like that at all.
So, anyway, she's resting her hand on his arm, and they stare out the window together for a while, and Clary asks him what's wrong.
She's like, what are we doing?
And again, duh, bitch. Like,
seriously.
I can't. So Jace is like, yeah, you know, just kind of regretting the whole super romantic, sexy monologue back there. Mainly because you just stared at me like a deer in the headlights and didn't say anything. Oops. And Clary's like, well, you shocked me. I thought you hated me. And then, you know, that.
Oh, I just can't.
I know. Stop bringing it. Like,
Clary is literally standing in her own way.
Yep.
So Jace is like bewildered. Like he can't even fathom that her brain is thinking that way. And then he lightly touches her face and tells her that tomorrow they're either going to be at war with Valentine or under his rule. Hell, they could die tomorrow. This is the last time they could go to bed and wake up in the morning like normal. And he wants to spend it with Clary. Not like that, you perv, Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he just wants to lie down with her and wake up with her just one time.
Just to see how it feels.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that. Just the tip.
That's what I wrote.
Oh, did you?
Just to see how it feels.
Oh.
Okay. It's just one night. How much damage can that do in the big scheme of life? So, Clary thinks that it could cause some serious damage to her pretending plan, but she concedes, knowing that for Jace, things can't get any worse, and there's nothing that she could do to make it better. The way he felt was forever, and really, the same was true for her. This was the one thing she wanted more than anything in her life, this night with Jace. Not reviving her mom, not to have V-Tang, like, not murder everybody. It's to sleep in a bed with Jace. Anyway, so she tells him to close the curtains before he comes to bed because there's too much light in the room. And Jace, who's, like, shocked.
He's like, shit, that worked?
Deal.
Obviously, it worked. Anyway, I guess he didn't expect her to say yes. Like, pulls her into a hug and, like, tries to start monologuing again, but Clary cuts him off and is like, it's late, come to bed.
It's just weird. I would want to know everything he has to say. Like, tell me everything.
Right.
You're
we
choosing
might
about me.
die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's live, and you know what?
Stuff.
The consequences are a problem for tomorrow, Clary.
Yeah.
Next
Absolutely.
week, Kristen, to deal with.
Exactly.
Right? So they laid down next to each other, and Clary imagined that, like, they're old and this is their normal bedtime routine, like, years into their marriage. What she doesn't realize is that one person is always left turning off the lights and attending children. Anyway.
And she's constantly...
Not always. They grow up.
Yeah.
This is true. There's no light at the end of my tunnel yet.
Yeah.
After dinner, I don't see my kid. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm retiring to my chambers. Goodbye. She's like, thank you for giving me sustenance, but now I'm done.
Goodbye.
Anyway, guys. Jace turns to her and says goodnight. And she, like, slides her hand to, like, brush against his. Then she feels his body tense and then relax. And, like, she looks at him and, like, he, like, making sure he closes his eyes and his mouth is, like, curling into a smile. She's like, wonder how hot he's gonna look in the morning. And then she just decides to, like, go all in and laces her fingers together.
That's going all in.
For Clary at this moment.
Whatever.
Anyway, she laces her fingers together, telling him goodnight, and then I have to quote this because it's just so cute. With their hands clasped like children in a fairy tale, she fell asleep beside him in the dark. And that's it. That's how the series ends. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I don't understand why they couldn't cuddle. Like, they're not, whatever.
Right?
No one's gonna know, whatever. Just do it. Like, not do it. Unless you're ready.
I mean,
but
if you want to.
yeah.
Fuck it. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
It's just, it would be very uncomfortable. No one sleeps on their back, like, for real.
Right. Come on.
So no one's sleeping well.
I know.
No.
Well, and one of them's going to fart in the middle of the night.
That would be me, dude. That would be me.
Look, the rule of the game is if you're asleep when you fart,
You can't
it
control
is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're awake and you fart, then that's your fault.
Yeah. Don't do it in bed on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anyway, make sure that you read chapter 15, Things Fall Apart, for next week's episode.
Yeah. Come back with us and we'll see how handsome Jace is when he wakes up. For behind the scenes content and the latest updates, check us out on Instagram at Downworlder Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.